Well, another new tour card holder joins us now on the Weekly Dartscast, Stephen Burton. Stephen, congratulations. How are you feeling?
Yeah, feeling really good, and just can't wait for the next 3 weeks to fly by and get started on the tour again.
Fantastic. And just looking at your 2022, it'd be great if you could tell us a bit more about your experience on the Modus Super Series, as it's now known, and the Live Darts League. How has that helped and improved your game?
Yeah, massively. I think had some really good results on there, and fortunate to win a couple of weeks, and won one of the Champions weeks as well. So yeah, I mean that concept is very good. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to play that now, which I'm not too disappointed about, because I would much rather be in the position that I'm in now. So but anyone who gets a chance to do that, it certainly helps you bring on your game. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's great to hear, and we do also, of course, have to mention the GDL, because they'll tell me off if I don't mention that. How was the online darts? I mean, obviously we all did a bit of that during the lockdown, but I know you kept up that particular practice. How has that helped as well in terms of your practice?
Yeah. I mean, it's just something else there. Obviously we all like to go out and play darts at competitions and things like that, but just sometimes it's quite convenient just to have an odd game at home once a week, and I've pretty much been with them from the start. Obviously played a lot in the lockdown era, but sort of now we're sort of out of that era. I still do to try and play sort of like once a week, and it's just another night of darts, and it sort of just keeps you motivated, really.
That's great. So we'll now move on to Q School. You're straight into stage 2 because of your performances, of course, on the Challenge Tour. Is that difficult going into stage 2 cold, knowing that there are sort of 80 other players that are warmed up? Is that a difficult, different mindset?
Personally, for me, I find it an advantage because others have been there for 3 days. Obviously, the previous year that I went into the first stage and come through into the last stage, and 7 days is a very, very long time. It's just, you get very fatigued by sort of day 5 and day 6, and it's just mentally draining. So, to be honest, that didn't concern me that others, had been playing for 3 days before. I was more than happy just to sort of go in there fresher than them, really, and I think that just sort of, I wouldn't say gave me the edge, but I just felt confident that I would probably have more in the tank if I had to go the full 4 days, which obviously I did. So yeah, I think that worked out quite well.
On day 1, of course, you made your move to the semi-finals, 5 really well-earned victories. Which of those stood out to you?
I mean, I think all the victories, really. I mean, you just, whoever you're facing, you just kind of take it on board. I mean, obviously I played Fallon, which has a bit of interest in the room. A lot of people tend to watch those games, but that didn't really sort of worry me too much. I mean, she didn't sort of play her best, and I think I went 5-1, 5-2 up, and sort of let her come back in a little bit, but managed to sort of close the game out. But I was a little bit disappointed in the way I played against Aaron Monk. I probably just ran out of steam in the end. It had been quite a long day, and played a few matches, and so I don't know how he done it, because obviously he'd played 5 matches the previous day. I think he won 12 matches, so his stamina is obviously better than mine.
Well, yes, and going into day 2 and then day 3. So it was an early exit on day 2. And does that put more pressure in when you're going into day 3, because you're in the mix at that point?
Yeah, I think they probably always say day 3 is kind of the moving day, where people always say, oh, it's the last day. But I think day 3, you kind of just want to put yourself in a good position, which, I had another good run. Probably was disappointed from day 2 because I didn't play particularly well when I lost to Jack. And his opponent after he beat me, he sort of won that, not really playing very well. So I was kicking myself a little bit there, but I was in the points table coming into the last day, and my mindset was, people are chasing me, I'm not chasing them. So it was in my hands, which is always nice.
Does that add an extra element of pressure? Because I've spoken to a few of the new tour card holders, the ones that won. There's nothing that sort of replicates that at any other time of the year. That in terms, it's almost like golf, really.
Yeah. I mean, going into the last day, it's in my hands, and you're kind of thinking, well, if you don't come through this, then it's another year you're not on the tour, and those 12 months, is a long wait. So there is a lot of pressure, but when you've kind of played, I've been in and out of the tour over the few years and topped the tour up, so I am sort of getting used to that pressure. I'm still learning the game at that level, so there is a lot of pressure, but I just sort of dealt with it the best I can, and thankfully I came out the other side this time.
And so you beat John Henderson to earn a point, and then Nicky Denoon. Was there a moment when you realised, right, I've actually done this now?
I think when I beat John Henderson was probably sort of like 95% that I was in. And I think it was the next game after John, I was 3-1 up, and someone just sort of gave me the thumbs up from the table that I was sitting on, just to say, you're 100% safe. So that was a relief, and I managed to win that game. And then the game after, I was sort of just wasn't really thinking about darts. I was just happy to get the card, and was just more thinking about getting home, really.
Well, that's great to hear, and just a few messages of well done, I hear.
Yes, loads and loads. Yeah, phone. My phone was just constantly going off, which was nice. So spent probably the next sort of 12 to 24 hours just responding to everyone. But yeah, it was a great feeling.
Amazing. And so just lastly, a word for your sponsors, friends, supporters that have helped you in this journey.
Yeah, I mean, obviously management and MDA Promotions, they've sort of been with me for the last 3 years, and I've just signed another 3-year deal with them. All shirt sponsors, obviously GDL was one of them, Waveney Trucks, friends, family, wife, everyone's been so supportive of me over the last, 3 or 4 years really, when the journey started. So, it's nice to sort of give them something back, and hopefully the next 2 years I can just sort of kick on now.
Well, thank you very much, Stephen, for your time. Really appreciate it, and good luck for when the season starts in a couple of weeks.
No worries. Thanks very much.